Okay, so it's early morning and this is the morning after carnage. Not too bad really. And Anthony is still asleep in his tent. I think he's in there, I don't know, he may have gone for a walk. I'm going to go for a walk, so to the beach, because I don't recall filming anything yesterday from the beach. So from the campsite we follow this trail. I have my coffee. Yeah, last night I was with my headlamp. I could see these little reflections on the ground, which were actually spiders' eyes. And yeah, so I was picking out spiders, and that was fun. The ocean appears to be quite calm this morning. On top of a dune, there's wreck rock over there. I've got to find my way down to the beach. Through the casuarinas. And here we are. Let's see if we can see any dolphins this morning like yesterday. And Anthony saw a whale. You can see footsteps on the beach, so yesterday I went to that rock. Today, for something different, I might head out to these ones. This beach is in both directions, just goes for miles. Totally secluded. I'm going to take my thongs off, carry them until I get to the rocks. I'll need them. Oh yeah, the water's not even really cold. I mean, I should think about going for a swim. It's not that cold. Anyways, I will catch you a little bit later. I just remove the sand from my thongs and my feet while I'm on these rocks. Whoa. And it's a lot of bird shit. Looks a little bit like a Jackson Pollock painting. Yeah, I'm now inspired. I don't know if you can see it, but there is another rock about, well, 2 k's would be my guess, 1 to 2 kilometers from here. I'm a bit tempted to walk along the beach to the rock and back. In fact, that's what I will do. It's a beautiful morning. Great to be alive. Alright, time for some philosophical musings. So around the campfire last night I was attempting to explain to Anthony about the hard problem of consciousness, and that is the problem of explaining how we are conscious of, how we have conscious experiences, how conscious experiences relate to the lump of meat that we have between our ears, that is our brain. And the die-hard materialists, or the physicalists, they say that consciousness, and if we take a bite from a mango, taste of a mango, that direct experience that is being experienced by the experiencer is an epiphenomena of the brain, that it simply just emerges from the brain, from the architecture and the circuitry of the brain. But there isn't a scientist, a neuroscientist, any scientist in the world who can explain how the brain produces the taste of a mango to the experiencer. And that essentially is the hard problem of consciousness. So if you had the most powerful computer in the world, or let's take that a step further, let's say 100,000 years from now, you had the fastest, biggest, most powerful quantum computer in the world. Yes, it could, in a flash, produce any information whatsoever about mangoes, the structure of mangoes, molecular structure of mangoes, the variety of mangoes, the color of mangoes, and so on. But would that supercomputer of the future be able to have the direct experience itself of a mango? I say not. And that then begs the question, well, what is consciousness? What is the nature of consciousness? And for now, I'll leave the discussion there, and perhaps we can talk more about that down the track. And furthermore, some people say, well, you know, if you take a person, connect them up to an fMRI machine, and monitor the activity of the person's brain, you know, poke them in the leg with a sharp object, and a certain, on the screen, you know, there's a blip each time you poke them with the poker, you know, so representing pain. That does not explain the hard problem of consciousness. All that explains is that it's a correlation. It just explains that there is something happening in the brain at the same time as the person experiencing the pain from being poked. Correlation is not causation. And the only other person on this beach that I've encountered so far, there's a person in the distance. I do believe that it's my friend Anthony, Mr. Mystery A, no longer mystery. So today we return to our families, our respective families. It's been a great trip. We've done lots of walking inland in central Queensland, you know, up on the plateaus, the Blackdown Range National Park, and Carnarvon Gorge, which was awesome, and then down to the coast, and mostly we've been in pretty remote areas. Now we've managed to avoid the more popular, more trafficked tourist destinations of, for example, Rainbow Beach, Agnes Waters, 1770. The busiest place really was Takaraka Resort at Carnarvon Gorge, but really that was the only place that we could stay, and there was some congestion there, but it was well worth it because walking in and around the gorge was pretty spectacular. And so just a nice way to end a great trip away with a friend at the ocean, and it just serves to reconnect oneself with some kind of mystery, some ineffable mystery, the mystery of life. I don't know what this is, this experience that is life, this experience of now, this ocean, the sand. I mean, ultimately I'm not sure what it is. I like thinking about it from time to time. There's apparently 100 or so theories of everything. I'll work my way through them. But we're just often so caught up in the conventionality of our lives, the hustle and bustle, the day-to-day grind, which sounds bad. Grind sounds bad. I mean, it's not bad, it's just different. But it's nothing quite like nature to, the ocean, these kinds of places, these places that direct your attention away from, I guess, people and transactions to something, that I think is ultimately more grander, more, that speaks a kind of a truth that perhaps we Westerners, we modern people of the modern age have disconnected from. And I think that ultimately that might be to our peril. This is the mother. The earth is the mother, the mothership. Without the mother, we're lost, and potentially can't survive without the mother. Okay, so I've been walking for perhaps a little under an hour, and you probably can't see the rock where I started from, but this is the rock that I've arrived to, and this is probably as far as I'm going to go before turning around and returning. So I feel